Welcome, everybody. As you know, last Wednesday, we lost our co-host, our brother, our friend, Russ T. Nailz, while we were taping our second anniversary show here of On the Air, right here on KUSI. And we are all feeling heartbreak. We're all gutted. It's been kind of a rough week, but we wanted to take today as a tribute to Russ T. Nailz, because I think Russ would have hated all of us standing around bemoaning.
Oh yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor to work with Russ.
Yeah, it really was. And you guys were rivals 40 years ago. I got on the air with him 25 years ago, and some would say stuck in studio, but
he was your work wife.
He was my work wife, and oftentimes people referred to him as my sidekick, and I would argue I was his sidekick. He taught me so much about this business and so on and so forth. But Russ always said to me and Tommy and the band and everybody here, show comes first.
Yes.
So in that spirit, we're going to go on and continue on in his memory. So let's light this candle.
Yeah.
Studios in sunny San Diego, California. It's On the Air with Sully, Little Tommy, and Rusty Nailz, and the Sully Band.
Yeah.
Great to have you along. What a show we have planned for you today. Yeah. Where are? No, I haven't gotten the approval yet, but we've got Russ's family here. So at some point, if they say okay, we'd love to turn the cameras and let you say hi. But Ty, Russ's son, is going to be doing a song for us today. James, did you say that Ty was our first musical guest, or did Jared say that? Yeah, I think he was our first musical guest here on the air.
Yep.
Yeah, so the very first time we had music, we had Ty, so he's going to be joining us today. But welcome to the Sully Band.
Yeah.
Well done, guys, gals. Had a great show on Thursday night.
I was there.
Almost capacity. It was a fantastic triumph for the release of our album, Let's Straighten It Out. And I want to remind everybody, tomorrow, as Russ used to say here, at least 15 times.
Monarch.
I'll be at Monarch, 2 o'clock on Sunday. They have asked us to play in his stead this coming Sunday, just as a tribute to Russ T. Nailz. So we don't normally do that type of thing, but most of us, we don't really have room for the entire band, but as far as space goes, but most of us will be there this Sunday at 2 p.m. So I'll be at Monarch, 2 p.m. this Sunday. Monarch, 2 p.m. this Sunday. All right, let's get it rolling, pal.
All right, let's do it. He knew Russ long before 91X. He's a San Diego icon. Ladies and gentlemen, Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Man.
Love you, Shotgun.
Is this from your garage?
From my pool hall.
I just have a question. Tommy, do you have a picture of you in his garage?
No, you had to earn that, right?
Yeah,
you did.
We clearly haven't yet.
You had to show up.
Oh, I see.
You see, you guys haven't shown up.
I don't know. Did you get an invitation?
Yeah.
But you always get an invitation.
Here's my invitation. Here's my invitation.
Oh, no, it's not.
Who does these pictures?
By the way, Dan Mills, a friend of mine, John Fuel, his brother is Dan Mills, and he's a professional caricature artist.
Like this.
And, yeah, that's great.
There we go, or like this. Good, I'm trying to get the...
But that is Rusty. And you remember his hat, remember?
My gosh. He took a felt pin and did this on
Did he really?
Oh, yeah, that was not embroidered.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And then he has a new one that he used with our very own Lauren Finney's husband, Brian Finney McDonald, who started Melon Caps.
Yeah.
He did that. So I want to make an NFT out of his cap, frankly, and see what goes there. So who else we got, Tommy? Let's roll.
All right. We all grew up listening to this next guest. He was on KGB. Then he migrated with his partner to 91X to work with Russ. You probably hear his voice every day of your life. Mr. Voiceover, Michael Berger.
All right. Yeah.
Nice job. So here's my question. Do I have? There we go. I want to make sure all my stuff's working. Is it just me? I'm just saying this because we taped our first national show yesterday by myself, a big biz show that Russ and I were on together for 25 years. But is it just me? But is there stuff not working in the studio today? Is anybody experieing that?
Yes, big time.
No, honestly, I think Russ is here. And he is up to his hijinks. Berger, no, so nice to see you. And I remember, I've been a fan of yours for so long. You and I have met a long, long time ago, a number of times on the road. But
I grew up listening to you.
we all came, and he looks the same. He's still handsome, tall, narrow. And
Great voice.
Well, you think.
You probably
said the guy with the, what's the word I'm looking for? Great voice. Yeah.
But you probably hear Berger's voice every day of your life.
I know I do. I mean, how much? So you do voiceover across the country, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just San Diego. You do a lot of San Diego.
No, most of my stuff isn't in San Diego.
But we still hear you.
Yeah, I know.
No. Do you remember the Berger and Prescott?
Yeah.
They're here today because you know why?
Yes, that's Berger.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Tell them.
Well, here's why. He's the most legendary radio newsman in San Diego history. He's a real journalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Prescott. Look at that.
Hello, Sully.
Hey, Berger and Prescott right here for us.
Yeah. Mike Berger?
Yeah.
God
How
dang.
many years were you guys together?
Gosh, Mike, you're good at math.
A bunch of years, because it was a tumultuous career there towards the end. So I mean, you add them all up, and
Yeah, right.
Been friends for, that seems like 30 years or something like that. And you know the story about Mike and I is that in all the times we worked together, we have never had a harsh word between us.
Really?
Because we never see each other. We just went out last night, as a matter. I've seen Mike twice in the last 24 hours, which is more than I've seen him in 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, am I remembering correctly that the name of the show is Berger, Prescott, and Nailz at one point?
That is
At
correct.
91X,
Yeah,
yes.
that's right.
Yes.
That's good. And then from there, I went to the News Brothers, or was it prior to that?
No.
Oh, it was Berger Prescott Chainsaw, then it was Berger Prescott Nailz at 91X, and then I went over to Kogo, had to leave Mike, which was really tough. And
speaking of Chainsaw,
Let's do it.
let's light this candle. Guess who's here?
He's the Dean of American Sports Broadcasters. He's the C of the DSC. Cookie, Chainsaw, Randolph. Right here.
I gotta tell you,
Cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah.
Hey, Cookie's my roommate at KGB.
That's just scary.
That's right. We share a studio.
Hey, but now
How are
that
you,
From
kids?
the DSC, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
You know how Cookie stopped in front of the band? Do you guys remember that we were back when we were begging people to let us play? We used to play at the Kraken.
Oh, yes.
And the Kraken's the size of this bar. That was the whole stage. And we had 10 people at the time, or maybe 8 people at the time. But Chainsaw used to sneak in the back on Sundays because he's very famous and people know who he is. Yeah. But he'd roll over there and watch us in the back, and it was one of the best things ever, seeing you in the back.
I love this band. You know, the word I would describe it as like thick.
Yeah.
It's just thick.
Yeah.
It's big. It's full.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good vocalist, too, wouldn't you say?
That's because I'm so thin.
And all you guys are crap.
Hello, everybody.
You got a lot of soul when you sing. You really do, man.
And every one of these boys and girls up here are just crackerjack.
Yeah.
So good.
Well done, band. Nice job.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, let's get to it. There's a lot of memories sitting at this table here. So I want to ask, you've had a rivalry with Russ T. Nailz.
Oh, yeah.
On Jeff and Jer and of course 91X. And then I know I've been with him for 25 years. But who met him first? Do we know who?
Well, I've known him since 1976.
There we go. So talk about it.
Rusty was our photographer. I did mornings at B100, and he was my photographer. And he did a lot of photography for the entire station. As a matter of fact, Rusty took a picture of me. He took the picture that was on a spectacular billboard that were all over San Diego. And I remember he had a great idea. Hey, Gundo. He called me Gundo, shotgun Gundo.
Gundo.
In fact, that freaked you out.
I love that.
So he said, hey, Gundo, let's get you up on the billboard and you can stand next to your face, because my face was huge.
There it is.
It is right
Yeah,
there.
and,
There it is
yeah,
right
there
there.
it is. And so anyway, we get on the B100 van, and I get on that ladder, and I get up just to where I'm going to put my foot on the billboard,
Right.
and I froze because I looked down.
Yeah, it's a
and
lot.
I wanted to get down.
like
that
40
was
feet.
it. So he goes, "Come on, Gundo, you can do it." Rusty goes, "Come on, Gundo, you can do it." Well, I couldn't do it, so we don't have that.
Oh, we have a picture of the B100 billboard.
That's all you have.
I was 12.
So let's go through the history. Berger and Prescott on KGB with Chainsaw. What year was that?
Started
87.
in 87.
87?
Yeah.
And then what happened? You guys were successful, because I was like out of high school listening to you guys. And I remember when Chainsaw first came to town, it was a big deal, because all of a sudden you hear different voices. You hear,
Who is this guy? Get him out of here.
But it was an amazing thing. How did it all start with you guys?
Well, basically, KGB put together a new morning show in 1987, and they paired us two together because I had been doing middays at the time, and we were rocking the City with the News Brothers. That was
Right.
with Gabriel Wisdom, and,
Right.
and we were generating some huge numbers. And so the program director and general manager thought, maybe we could try something different in mornings, but we need a third guy that's really going to put it over the top.
Third wheel.
And that's when this guy came to
Third
town.
wheel, baby.
How did you walk? But how
Third
did you
wheel.
walk? Yeah, you came from Fresno, did you not, at that time, or did you go to
Fresno, then Phoenix, then here.
Oh, then here. So
Yeah.
how did you happen to be in the right place at the right time on that day?
Sent out. I was on the beach, so I sent out a bunch of tapes and resumes, and
Yeah.
they found it through some headhunter, some.
That's the way you got a job back in the old days, is you sent out tape and resumes
Yes.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, that's
Because right now
And it was
it's-
Berger and, it was Prescott and Sue Delaney in the
Delaney
morning.
and Prescott.
And the great thing about it, Sully, is that they moved Sue into the afternoons, so I didn't displace anybody. I was added on. Because if you come in and you're replacing somebody who's beloved,
Oh yeah.
it's not a good
It's a rough
start.
one. You know, it's
It was
interesting.
such a nice.
I would
blend in
like
with
to
these
see
two
that
guys,
happen
so
because
talented.
you got in with your talent. That's what happened. Somebody heard his talent.
And he worked cheap, which
And my
he was desperate, so it really worked out well for us, because Mike and I got a big rate. Oh,
Okay, take us there, because then you guys migrated to 91X, and I remember everyone in San Diego was like, wait, what?
well, I don't think everybody was. But, Mike started it.
Oh, yeah.
Mike started it.
But you go to 91X to work with a guy named Rusty Nailz.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Well, Russ was already there, and I forget who he was doing the mornings with previously with Sue, with Brian Jones.
Brian
was
Jones,
it?
I think,
I
yeah.
believe so.
Or was it Katie Manor?
Oh, that's right.
I
You're
think it
right.
might have been Katie
They
Manor.
both
Katie?
came from my station in Fresno.
That's
Sue
right.
Delaney, Katie Manor, and Brian Jones.
Good
Can you
lineage
believe that?
there. So anyway, I had known Russ. Tom and I were talking just before the show. I think I met Russ in about 78, maybe 79. And so when I found out that we were going to be paired with Russ, it was like, great, I know this guy. We, hung out together and different. I mean, it was seamless. It was. He did different things, but what I loved about Russ was that he was the nicest guy. Russ was a walking party bus on two legs. I mean, if you were
No kidding.
if you were ever with Russ, as you all know, you're having a good time automatically. I mean, in all the decades that I've known him, never, and we were talking about it last night, never saw Russ in a bad mood. Always Mr. Laughs. Remember the fake teeth he had when we'd go into restaurants and he'd smile with those horrible teeth.
They're like the Billy Bob teeth.
Yeah.
He had no shame.
That was the guy. That was the
No,
guy.
remember he used to come over to my pool hall parties, and he had a red fright wig. Remember the red fright wig?
yeah.
And that was a big hit, and he was just always a big hit at my
Always
pool
doing
parties.
shtick. And another thing was, we'd have to write like 6 bits a show, 5 days a week. We did it with you. We did it with Russ. And I mean, writing comedy with Russ was like, it was great,
Yes.
He was such a pro. And he also knew all the comedians who would come to the Improv and the
that's
Comedy Store. And one thing I was
He
thinking
was one
about-
of them.
Well, sure. But you're talking Dennis Miller and Robin Williams.
Dennis
I mean, some of
Miller,
the biggest
Alan
No.
Havey, who's on Billions.
Yeah.
Russ and
Yeah.
I were just laughing about, hey, Alan Havey's on
Right.
Billions. He used to come by.
Sure.
But in I can't remember what years it was, but I was the host of like San Diego Comedian of the Year. at the Improv, and the first year, Russ was absolutely the funniest, and he didn't win.
What?
And I was pissed, if I could. I was really mad because Russ.
Sandy Shore had the fix in, right, over there at the comedy.
No doubt.
It was Bud Friedman, I think, was the Improv guy.
Yep.
He was the owner of the Improv in L.A.
okay.
And Russ should have won, and I can't remember who won. Right. Thank God the next year Russ won San Diego Comedian of the Year that he ultimately deserved.
I think he got a car for that he ended up giving to his dad. I can't remember.
Oh, there is something about that. I don't
Right,
remember.
I can't remember what it is, but you know, the thing about Russ, and I can tell you that what you saw on camera was Russ.
Yeah.
There was no on switch, off switch.
Yeah.
I mean, every time on a daily show, he'd leave the studio and he'd be still giving a one-liner as he walked out, and we'd oftentimes run out the back to find out what the heck he was saying. But
You know, I was talking with his kids, and Russ had that smirk smile, that little, you know, like you'd be having a bad day.
a shizzle-eating grin.
Is that what it is?
That's what they call it.
He had this, you know, I was talking to him, and they go, yeah, that's Dad, you know. He had this little smile and smirk, like, hey, if they're having a bad day, hey, don't worry about it. Who cares, you know? I remember I went over to his house and pick up some photos or something like that. Anyway, he said, hey, Gundo, I'm thinking about getting into comedy. I go, right. So he did.
This is the tipping point here.
I guess it was. So anyway, he did this fat Phil.
My fat friend Phil.
My
Right.
fat friend Phil.
The
the fifth
alliteration
floor,
bit. I remember that.
Yeah.
fifth floor of the financial facility, and you know, I mean, it was a funny bit.
Funny.
And you know, one thing about Rusty, he taught himself comedic timing.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to play the guitar, I don't think. When I knew
Still
him.
didn't.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, he taught
Sorry, that's me.
He taught himself to play the guitar, and his comedic timing was just absolutely perfect. I often said, "Hey, when are you going to be on Letterman?" He was so good at that comedy; it was just flawless.
You know, Russ had the ability, you know, of a 50-year career, of not being able to really answer what do you do for a living. He was one of those guys that was able to do exactly what he wanted, whether it was comedy or radio or television or on stage, and you couldn't categorize the guy. And I think that's one of the biggest pieces of knowing him personally, is that what you saw is what you get. And I'm assuming it was like that all along.
He wasn't a one-trick pony. He had several characters that he did. Of course, I was announcer when he was Ron Burgundy. I mean,
Ron Burgundy.
Bit, yeah.
But when he was Ron Burgundy, he was Ron Burgundy.
No,
When he
it's Ron Burgundy.
But when he was Buddy the Elf, he was Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was always in character.
And he was he's such a good-looking guy. He always said, you know, being a good-looking guy and doing comedy. That's a rough thing.
All right, many stories to come. It is a Russ T. Nailz tribute, one of many, I promise you, here on the Air. Jeff Prescott, Mike Berger, Shotgun Gundo Tom, Cookie Chainsaw Randolph. We'll be back in a second.
That's it. Hi, I'm Rusty Nailz, and this is Katie Manor.
From the Breakfast Club at 91X. And if you listen in the morning, we're giving away $1,000 every day. And it gets easier if you listen all day long.
Have to listen! Listen to me!
And it's so easy to win $1,000 on 91X.
Go ahead, tell them. Jeez. $1,000 every day, 7:15. Listen here.
The cutting edge of rock, 91X.
There we go. On the air is on the air. Mike Berger, Jeff Prescott, Shotgun Tom, and Cookie Chainsaw Randolph. Fantastic.
That right there.
You know what? Russ picked all these songs. Russ sent all these songs to James over the last couple months and said, hey, at some point I want to sing these on stage. And is that right, James? That's how you came up with these things? Yeah. So all of our in and out music is straight from 91X.
Cool.
Very
cool.
cool.
And speaking of 91X, that video right there with Katie Manor and Russ, that was high school for me. And that's why it was
That was
a
high
big
school
deal.
for you?
Yeah.
Because that was college for me. So.
And that's why it was a big deal to do a show with Russ.
Yeah.
And it's so cool for Berger and Prescott to be here, and Cookie. As a matter of fact, I want to thank you guys because I think it was around 1990 when you had the Jeff and Jer really cool shirts.
Oh, yeah.
The I hate, Was that you guys with the I Hate Jeff and Jer shirts?
Well,
Talk to Mike. Talk to
Russ
Mike
was
about
proud
that.
of it. Russ always showed me, look.
He still has one.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking for
I could've
mine
brought one.
today.
I got one. I should have brought it in today. By the way, it's getting a little modeling in here. I
It
think-
is.
I think we need to throw in some jokes because that's what Russ was
right.
about.
Exactly.
So I want you to have some rim shots ready for me, okay?
Oh, you got some nails?
I got
Oh,
some-
here
I
we
got some
go.
nails.
Here we go. Here we go.
Bring the Russ
Mike,
music up.
I'm gonna
So at any
move.
rate-
I'm gonna move back.
No, you stay right where you are.
I do want to say it's a real honor to be here, Sully. You've done a marvelous job. The band kicks butt. Props to the band.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and this complex here is kind of like a VFW hall for old radio people. You know, where we can all get together and talk about how great we were.
Yeah.
Talk about the groupies. Okay, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Although I did have a wicked case of the back in the 80s.
Hey, wait a minute, Mike.
And
Please.
speaking of disease, I brought my triple mask setup with me today.
Oh, please.
Those are my extra maps.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, triple mask setup is going to be the way to, protect you most from COVID.
Look at you.
I've got my N94, right?
Yes.
I've got my surgical mask.
You're very.
And just in case, I've got a coffee filter.
That'll work.
And with this setup, I'm protected from almost any
are.
nasty disease, maybe even the gross fungus growing in Shotgun Tom's hat.
Wait a minute. Come on.
Michael
These are
Berger.
jokes, son. These are-
Michael Berger.
had to do it for us.
Wow.
Hey, I would love to hear Cookie do some Don Knotts, man.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, don't.
Just nip it, shotgun.
That bit is gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got my bullet.
But Cookie, I know you have some rough stories.
Well, I got a couple.
The first time I met Russ is when we were competitors, when you guys jumped, and then we'd see each other at various events. And I knew he was so funny and so skilled. I knew every time I saw him, he'd come up and I said, he's got 3 or 4 liners that are just going to kill me. He just right now, I know he's going to do it. But he never did. He was such a sweet guy. And he did later after I left, all right. Because you don't want to waste the material.
It wasn't.
No, but he was always such a good sportsman in terms of being a competitor. And then we got to work together on a few things. And I have a list of things that Russ is great at.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
And this is actually legit. He's great at stand-up.
Yes.
Stand-up with guitar, straight music, morning radio, business radio, business TV, on the air with Sully and Little Tommy, Cron Burgundy, Buddy the Elf, KUSI Weather with Mark Mathis.
Oh, that was great. That was
75.
great.
It's on YouTube, everybody.
55.
You got to do it. Russ T. Nailz as
So
Mark
good.
Math QS. And then Banquet MC. He could own the room no matter what room he was in. Charity MC, auctioneer, major motion picture star.
That's right.
We got him
The trouble with money.
to be in a movie with us at KGB in 2006. And I never got to see him do this. But the executive imposter
Oh my
bit
gosh, this was
that
the
he
greatest.
did, where he would go to a corporate event
Yes.
and be introduced in front of everybody as this expert in data, filing.
Yeah, Dr. Russell Stallnack, data analysis.
There it is.
Yeah, right.
And he'd get up there and he'd be straight and okay, all right, and everything. And then he'd throw in a what did you say?
Yeah, right.
What did you say? And then that transition between awkward into full-blown comedy
Right.
act, and then have the room in his
Yes.
hands.
Yes.
I wish I could have seen it. If there's, if
It was
it's on tape anywhere.
I've seen it, and it was the
That's
greatest. It's so brilliant because I've never seen it happen before. And he'd be doing point and figure charts, and what he would do, because we did it together as far as prepping him, he would look at a website of the group that he was speaking to, whether it's the American Heart Association or whatever, and he would basically tape the first about on the website, put it in his back pocket with an in-ear, and he would just repeat as well, the American Heart Association, and as he was listening to himself, he would do, and then he would show point and figure charts, with this. There would be a graph, and then there'd be a thing, and then suddenly it'd be him with a jacuzzi of 7 women. How'd that get in there? And then all of a sudden, I have never seen anybody do it, and I thought it was the most original
Brilliant
thing.
bit.
Just
God,
really,
so
executive
good.
imposter was just
Boy, and
fantastic.
could he warm up an audience? Remember we had the tribute band for Huey Lewis and the News on?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And they asked me to come out and MC.
Yeah.
Well, Rusty was the warm-up guy with the guitar and
Yeah,
everything.
right.
And when I got up on stage, the audience was so happy. My wife Linda and I were talking about it, how pleasing they were. And of course, that band was great.
Yeah, that Huey Lewis
Huey Lewis
tribute band.
Oh, God, it was great.
I would get here, and he would have these pre-produced, completely glistening bits, and some of them are and maybe we can find this, Jared, in the next break, like the K-Tel or the Ronco, kids first campfire. you know, those type of things, or the birthday stick, or the liquor vest, the Gundramat, which is a laundromat and gun cleaning, Diet Scotch, which is Scotch with just more ice in it, and or the Shizzle mitt, where he said, well, you take a plastic mitt and we silkscreen grass blades on the inside of the mitt, and when your dog does a doodle, you peel it off backwards and throw it over your neighbor's lawn. They won't even know it's the Shizzle. Comes in gravel, decomposed granite. No, that was Russ. And every single day, or every week, I would walk in with a pre-produced thing, and this is just how he thought. I mean, he was off the clock.
Yeah.
And as the rest of us are watching whatever we're watching, that's how Russ passed his time, which is why Russ was exactly the same on and off.
Yep.
All right.
Up next, Russ's son performs a song.
Yeah, here comes Tyler.
All right.
You'll burn in a lasting memory when you get your child My First Fire. Looking for something to do outside with your children? The internet has to go away. We bring you My First Fire! My First Fire includes 18-inch fire ring, 12-inch poker, 4 indoor logs, an 8-ounce fuel can, cherry-scented accelerator included. And there's a memory I'll never forget, because good memories start with big flames. Sparking more than just interest, it's My First Fire, coming to your child soon.
Well done.
All right.
He's on stage there. T-Bone did our first intro, outro music on Big Biz Show when he was 15. You used to duck out of high school, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Proud young man. And then he was our first music here
Yeah.
on the show here. But
Growing up, do you remember these guys?
Mm-hmm.
You really do?
Oh, yeah. These guys are legends. I think they met me when I was about this big.
we have one of the things about Russ, because back in the day, you know, being on the kind of station 91X, he would get to go to the concerts and go backstage, and if I think Sugar Ray, he handed the mic to you, and we have footage, I think, of you interviewing Sugar Ray at what, your 5th grade, 4th grade?
I was 12.
12.
Yeah.
Was Mark McGrath there?
Because he was out getting a beer.
Yeah.
Because there was no iPhones to shoot it. There was a real cameraman there.
Was Mark McGrath there when he was
He interviewed
Yeah.
Mark McGrath.
Oh, Mark's a great guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
he's a great
God,
guy.
I love Mark.
He was real nice to me.
Yeah,
he's
sat there.
that's the way he is.
Yeah.
So did your dad teach you to play guitar originally?
I taught him a little bit.
No kidding.
Oh, is that what it is?
No,
Yeah.
Ty's a very talented guitarist. So dude, that's no kidding. I can believe that. So you
Yeah.
taught him how to play guitar.
Yeah, we played music a lot together.
Yeah, and I remember you up at Monarch. By the way, we'll be at Monarch 2 o'clock Sunday. Monarch 2 o'clock Sunday. But was your some of your best memories on stage with him? Because he loved being on stage with you.
Yeah, that was so cool, man. There's nothing like it. You know, he'd be singing and playing and say, "Take it away, Ty." And I'd just be shredding. You know?
I remember him trying to learn a song, Van Halen song, which is it's what we call in the business a 1-3-5 song. Is that right? 2-4-6 song. It's a blues progression, and it's called Ice Cream Man.
That's right.
You gonna nail that one?
Yeah, it was one of my dad's favorites.
All right.
Let's take it away.
All right.
This one's for Rusty. Well, summertime's here, babe, and need something to keep you cool. Oh, summertime's here, babe, you need something to keep you cool. You better look out now, 'cause we got something for you. 'Cause I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. All right. Yeah, I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. I got all my flavors guaranteed to satisfy. All right. I got cold-bound banana, Dixie cups, all flavors and a push-ups too, 'cause I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by. All right. 'Cause all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. All right. Dixie cups, all flavors and push-ups too, and I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by. All right. I said all my flavors messed around 11 o'clock. Yeah, I got your favorite flavors who make me start. Come on. I got bamboo, banana, Dixie cups, all flavors in a push-up stew. I'm your ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by. All my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. Well, I'm your ice cream man. Yeah, I'm your ice cream man. Yeah, I'm your ice cream man, baby. I'm your ice cream man. And all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. Thanks, everybody.
That was great.
The new front man for the Nailz band.
That was fantastic, man.
The T-Bone band from here on out.
That was awesome.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh.
His talk about the most eclectic interest in music. Russ went from "When You're Smiling" song,
Yes.
honestly, to Jimmy Buffett song, to of course he was a huge fan of Lucas Nelson and Willie Nelson, and then Johnny Cash. Who could forget his? His favorite thing to do for you guys, and I want the band to know this, was Russ would play all our intermissions, and at a show, and what he would do is he'd get up there and do his Russ thing, and we knew it was time for us to go back on stage when he started playing Ring of Fire. So he started singing Ring of Fire, and one by one, my band would come up there, little by little, and Steve Dillard, of course, who had played with the Righteous Brothers, and Leonard Skinner and Huey Lewis, would start that, and then the whole band's, and I swear, Nina, you can attest to this. It's one of his. It was one of his favorite things to do is have you guys behind him. So I want to give you guys a lot of credit.
That's fantastic, really. Bravo.
And now you got Ty. Ty, why don't you come play intermission for us on next gig on Sunday? Well, in fact, will you come up on Sunday? By the way, 2 p.m. Monarch, Sunday, 2 p.m. Monarch.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna adopt that. I don't know if we'll ever play the gig again, but still. You got to come up and play with us this Sunday.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that sounds great. I'll be
All right.
there.
Good, perfect.
I totally feel his dad right here with us.
Yes,
Absolutely. Channeling him.
And one of my favorite photos, he came up to Hollywood, Nina, me, and Rusty at my party. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, for your.
I love that photo.
Was that the star photo?
Yes, it was.
Where I was the first to interview you?
Yes, you were. Yes, in fact,
It's like my only claim to fame, honest to God.
I stopped everything.
The Stevie Wonder was right in the background. There was Shotgun Tom.
Wait a minute.
Well, I had to be.
You know we weren't really on the air, right? You were just talking
Really?
on the cell
Oh,
phone. No,
I
I'm
thought
just
we
kidding.
were.
No, we were on News Radio 600 Kogo.
You
That's
have
right.
you have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Yeah. Is that right?
I
got
didn't
two.
hear that story.
I didn't want to talk about it.
Come on.
I'm trying to keep
He
a low
had
profile.
Stevie Wonder roll in, and what did Stevie Wonder say? Isn't she lovely or something?
Oh well, when I first met Stevie Wonder, I told him about my daughter playing that song when I was doing mornings at B100 to celebrate my daughter Melanie's birth. And I said, hey, she's graduating from San Diego State University in the nursing program. Would you mind saying a little something? So he recorded this thing on tape, and we played it at her graduation dinner. And it's Stevie, cued the audio guy, and he goes, hi, Melanie, this is Stevie. On behalf of your father, I want to congratulate you for graduating with the San Diego State School of Nursing. What can I say? 1, 2, 1. Isn't she lovely?
Wow. Unbelievable.
And I mean, and then I asked Stevie, I said, Stevie, that was great that you did that. And it was amazing how you spliced your song into there. He said, I didn't splice it in, I sang it. You did that, yeah.
All right.
Hello, Mark Mathis, meteorologist with tip number 116.
Whenever pronouncing the word rancho, when it comes up in your forecast, be sure you accentuate that word. And move the shoulders slightly, leaning forward. When you lean back, move the shoulders and lean on the back foot. Let's try it together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rusty Nailz. Welcome to On the Air with Sully Sullivan, Little Tommy, and me.
That's 95. It's also the same temperature we find in Kingsland, Arkansas. You know where that is, don't you? I hope you do, because it's right down there where Johnny Cash gets his hometown listing. That's right, Johnny Cash. You know him, don't you? I love Johnny Cash. Would you like to sing?
So you'll recall, this screen behind us used to be the Mathis cam, and now heretofore will be the Nailz cam. But he'd like to set up a camera in the corner of his house with his mom Franny and just film her. This is called vodka tasting with Franny.
Okay, what does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
Yes. Yes? How about...
Is that Russian?
Oh, I got it now. 42.5, go to 45. Hurry up, you're slowing things down. $4,500 now, go to 10. Let's get this thing over with.
Everything in that delivery room is really clean, including your new guide stick to better home video of the birth of your...
So that was Russ. Every single time.
You know, Rusty and I, United Cerebral Palsy would have the celebrity luncheon for the waiters and all that stuff. And he would do that bit, that, 4 not about a 7 you know.
Well, he was a professional auctioneer.
Well, in real life, for one of the schools my son went to, I was the auctioneer each year. So I said, I really suck at this. Why don't you have Rusty Nailz come next year and do it? And they said, okay, great. So he came out, and he was the auctioneer for either the Gillespie School or Bishops. I can't remember which one. Well, he insulted the heck out of all of them. I could see the school administrators were mortified that he was doing this and insulting these people and all that. And they said, Prescott, you're back next year.
That's Russ.
Too hard on these people.
You did it on purpose.
He co-wrote
You know
a
how
book.
to do it.
He co-wrote a book on charity auctions and had a website called Auctioneer Russ, which looked the same as hammockrock.com, which looked the same as russisfunny.com, because as he used to say, russisfatandbald.com was taken.
He was so good at that. He had so much energy, you know?
And he was a movie star, right, Chainsaw?
That's right.
I mean, tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, we needed a part for this silly video that we sold along. Remember CDs and videos that you could
I don't Blu-ray. Yeah, but kids don't remember.
Yeah, and this was for a charity, and he was good enough. Of course, we hired him, and he was a hired gun. He was a professional. He came in ready, and he played his guitar, and it was a lot of fun. And we're going to celebrate our 50th.
Yeah.
And you're part of it. You're part of it. Yes. You're part of it. You're part of it. And you're part of it.
April 1st. KGB is celebrating 50 years on the air in San Diego.
Really?
And the DSC is celebrating 33 and a third?
32.
Almost?
32.
Almost.
Good call. This is in honor of your vinyl record.
Thank you. At Lou's.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a good time on April 1st, and you guys are going to be there?
Oh, yes.
How much do we get paid?
Yes. As much as Russ did. Uh-oh. It's going to break my bank.
We're there.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And so that is a 50th anniversary party for
KGB.
Right.
And that is also a 32nd anniversary for you guys.
Yes. 1990.
32nd for DSC.
Wow. Yeah.
And we were asked to go play. So by the way, you guys got it. Here's the sad news. Our downbeat's at 7 a.m. I know most of you are getting home about 2. Just stay up because we're loading in at 5.
Say something about Russ, though. We're going to always say something about it. And Dave said some good stuff about him last week and today. And
yeah, it's so interesting
you were
how.
on and
Well, all the San Diego radio and news outlets.
Everybody.
It was an unbelievable outpouring.
Oh, yeah.
That he, I'm with him every day. I always say, he and I were like light switches. We're just there, right?
Yeah.
And but at the end of the day, San Diego embraced this guy, like
and still is.
I got so many. He was kind of like San Diego's, jester or
homegrown comedian.
Homegrown guy.
Yeah, right. Speaking of homegrown,
because he was everywhere.
He did everything.
Yeah, he did everything.
He was the most versatile performer. In the history of this town.
And he was a really giving guy too, because somebody would call up and say, "Hey, we need an MC or we need something for this little tiny thing." Russ was there.
And Jeff, do you have a favorite Russ team memory on air? Can you remember back on?
No, I can't. I've blocked that whole career. I will tell you this.
Of course you can.
Russ and I, like Mike and Chainsaw and Shotgun, we've been friends for so many decades and all that. But in fact, we did it on the last time we were on the show together here. Russ and I always had this joke telepathically. I always say, Russ, what are you doing here? I thought you grew up back east. And he'd always say, yeah, in a very tough part of La Mesa.
Hey, everybody. What about you, Berger?
I think it was funnier in the shower.
Any memories?
Yeah, I've got, they flood in, when you start thinking about the guy and the stuff that we did on the air. And a lot of the stuff that we did off the air. We did some really fun things going to promote various things, like Snow Summit had us do our show.
Beastie Boys.
And the Beastie Boys came
Wow.
in. Yeah, so we're in
pretty
this
big
room.
name.
We're in this room on the slopes, and we're trying to do our show, and the Beastie Boys come in at like 8 o'clock or something like that, and they're clearly not happy to be there. They're just going, oh, what did my promotions person get me into? And they were promoting their new album. And so they're there, and we're trying to do an interview with them and get some magic going on the radio, and it's not going well. And so Russ comes in, and we're doing one of our bits, one of my favorite Russ bits, where he played Mark, and actually it was Cram, because the guy
Cram, right?
Yeah, Cram. Cram, which was Mark spelled backwards.
Right.
So
Hey, Cram!
I was like,
I
hey
totally-
dudes, it's Cram.
Yeah, right.
And so he comes in, and the Beastie Boys are sitting there, and they've got no concept of really what's going on with this radio shtick, and they're going, what the hell is going on with this guy? What is this shtick? And I just remember at the end of it, Russ going, hey, it's really nice meeting you.
He would say it like
it was just great. It was so perfect.
Exactly.
Up until
Exactly
that
right.
point, it had gone so poorly.
Yeah, exactly right.
You and I were talking. We got so many emails, so many voicemails. Cole Lewis.
Yeah, sure.
I still haven't gotten back to her, but so many. I'm trying to get back to so many friends who called me and said we're really sorry about Rusty, but I'll get to you.
Coming up, Russ was here in this studio last Wednesday when we taped our second-year anniversary show. Shotgun was here, Chris Goldsmith was here, Lauren Finney, and the whole crew here. And we are going to let you see, maybe, I don't know if I'm more traumatized at his passing or the performance, because it was the best performance.
Yeah, it was. It was beautifully done.
I mean, it's like, what? Hey, Chris Goldsmith, president of Belly Up Entertainment's going, we should book this guy.
Wow.
Like,
He was
no,
great.
It was fantastic.
I had him sing first. I was supposed to sing first. And then I go, hey, Russ, will you go up there and sing before me?
And in the middle of
he
his
asked
song,
why.
you said to me,
I said, shoot, I can't follow that.
Yeah.
Stop the world, I'll melt with you.
Yeah, that's exactly
what
right.
a great song.
All right. On the air is on the air. We got Mike Berger, Jeff Prescott, Shotgun Tom, Kelly, as Russ liked to call him, Gundo.
Gundo, yeah.
Cookie Chainsaw Randolph, and the rest of us. We'll see you in just a second.
Yeah. Hey, where's the Sully band tomorrow?
Monarch, 2 p.m. Monarch, 2 p.m. Yeah, I would like to get a montage of how many times Russ on this program said, I'll be a montage, 2 p.m. Sunday, montage. I mean, I think it was maybe over 100.
Oh, yeah.
And,
And true story,
50
every
in one
time,
show for sure.
every time he would do that, I would actually whisper to you, hey, we got to edit that out.
No, honestly, this is true. That's true. Because
Yes.
the only ones that made it on the air were about 100. There was another 100 that never made it on the air. Because we had valuable guest time to do. First of all, I personally really appreciate you guys coming in, because I can't think of a better group to come in and celebrate the Russell. Did you know that he wanted to be called the Russell?
The Russell, he did?
No, he told me one time, because he did this thing on the air where he says, yeah, I want to be called the Russell, and because I'm thinking about some stuff. Remember I told you about the Gundromat and the Chili Quick and the Diet Scotch. Those were Lord Russell's Industries, is what that was. But no, he wanted this show is the celebration of the Russell.
Wow.
Is what it is.
Amen.
Yes.
And he will be with us 2 p.m. Sunday at Monarch. 2 p.m. Sunday.
And I love...
Yeah. So Russ staked that chair on day one. Right here, and we have declared that hallowed ground where no one will ever sit in that chair. His microphone's there. And if you recall, as we were taping the second anniversary show, it was also a 40th anniversary for 91X that we were doing. And he brought his 91X jacket in there. And of course, bitched about the fact there was a period behind the T. You know, if you knew Russ T. Nailz, it was Russ, capital T, no period, N-A-I-L-Z. And honestly, I heard him say that as much as the Monarch gig, but that we're reserving that for him
forever.
Up until Chainsaw sat in it right when he walked in the door. No, that's better than me in the show. You know, it's time to go, cookie, laying across the bar, chasing him down.
And congratulations to Cookie and the DSC.
Thank you very
32 years in San Diego, April 1st.
Yeah.
Right
32 years.
Really good.
And congratulations to KGB FM, 50 years in San Diego.
That is something.
On April 1st.
That's right.
Yeah. Will the KGB Sky Show ever come back?
I don't know.
I mean, I really hope it does. That's where you guys just would like light something, then run, and then all of the fireworks went up.
Right. I guess a venue is now, I mean, maybe the new Aztec Stadium someday. We're not sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of KGB, these guys, you started in 75 at KGB.
Yep.
You started in
1980.
80.
Yeah.
And you were there in...
Oh, I was, 136 KGB, Boss Radio.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in 1970.
Yes.
When did Homegrown start? Was that under your
Must have
guys'
started
tutelage?
in 75. 74, I believe, because it was before I got there, Homegrown 1, and I think I got there for Homegrown 2. And it was the biggest thing. I mean, it was the coolest thing. As you know, a local musician getting on a vinyl back in 74.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it was sponsored by the radio station, which is still the radio
It was
station.
a
in San
great
Diego.
KGB promotion, much like the Sky Show, you know.
Still to this day talked about.
Of
Yeah, oh,
course.
sure.
Jim Price.
So for
Yeah, Jim Price.
So for those of you who don't know, the Homegrown was a sort of a competitive sort of deal where bands would put in their songs about San Diego.
Chula Vista,
Greatest song ever, Chula Vista,
Bonsall.
right?
Right.
I mean,
Right?
I love to hear Chula Vista.
Yeah, right. Obi Bop. Remember?
Mayor
I
Steve
think we
Voss.
should do this again. We need to do a home run again, Cookie. Come on.
Right here, baby.
That's good. Well, we would write a San Diego song for sure.
You'll have to pay him for the
Yeah,
royalties.
exactly. No, it was, and you got the vinyl, and whoever did the competition for the artwork on the cover was fantastic.
I got them all
remember
still.
The Jack and the Beanstalks thing.
Got them all.
Yeah, I've got a number of them, but I'll
stuff.
tell you, I think when you guys started, I think it was 12 or 13. But man, it was the coolest thing
It
ever.
was
I think
a
you should
cool
bring that
idea. KGB brought it out, one of the many things. Real quickly, you know, I was a Shotgun Tom fan, but then when KGB recycled in 72, I went with them to Album Rock and discovered, you know, Black Sabbath and Humble Pie and all
Deep
this.
Purple.
Deep Purple, all this strange stuff. And you went over to KCBQ.
That's what I did.
and
yes.
became the guy you are now.
Well, I'm just trying to fit it.
On Sirius XM Radio.
Yeah. Oh, Sirius XM. Yeah. We play some of your songs that you play on this album.
Well, let's get some of my songs on there.
Give me a little sign, man. We got that on.
So that somebody's
on my show.
somebody's covering me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this guy named Brenton Wood is covering it.
Yeah, right.
I'll have to talk to him.
You know,
Aretha
everybody, and I
Franklin.
do mean everybody, loves the DNC. I mean the DNC. Remember when I did that on
Yes.
your show?
Yes.
You played that as a funny bit. You never want to put me on in the morning. I'll mess things up. You
Not
know,
a morning guy.
Imogene, how about that one?
Well, guys, as we mentioned, last week was a really special week for us. Not so because it was our second anniversary show. We were super excited, and then of course it turned out to be a day of tragedy for many of us. But I am personally so fortunate that we got to record Russ's perhaps best performance ever on this stage.
It was sensational.
And we're going to leave you today with not just the performance, but some memories for Russ and of his family and of Nina and stuff for you to take a look at. But it's been a really great honor to be here in this studio with you guys today.
Ours. Doing it for the
Thanks for having us.
It's
So
been
Russell.
for
Here's
all
the
of
Russ.
us here. It's been a rough week.
Little Tommy, you're the best.
No, Russ is
You put
the
together a great show, pal.
Yeah, it really did, man. You're the organizer.
Little Tommy.
No, no, no,
Come on, let's go.
no,
Doing what he does best, baby.
no.
Yeah.
Here's the
Yes.
Russ. It's
Serious.
He calls me every week and says, "Hey, what about this?" He says, "Berger, Prescott, shotgun, and cookie." Done. Period.
Yeah.
Done. I mean, it was a first try thing.
Can't
You
say
put
no.
together a show. A
here's the
fantastic
Russ.
stuff, so.
Here's the Russ.
All right, guys. Well, I can't wait to see you guys all back in here
Thanks,
again.
Sully.
And,
Right on.
enjoy this performance by Russ T. Nailz, one of his favorite songs. What's it called? I'll melt with
Stop
you.
the
I'll
world,
melt with
melt
you.
Modern English melt
The
with you.
DJ.
Stop the world, I'll melt with you.
There we go. Oh, wait a second. This is the song that they played at the very end of Valley Girl. When Nick Cage got in the limousine,
Nicolas Cage.
they started driving up the 405.